screens here, so I'm ready for that. All right, let's push the buttons. No, you don't. You don't have anything to do.
Welcome to the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room Podcast. We are here to podcast about anything and everything Star Wars with you. Please visit our website where you can play current and past episodes. That's https://RABR.KaileJohansson.us. That's RABR.KaileJohansson.us. On the left-hand side is a navigation menu. You can use this to learn how to load the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room podcast on your Android or Apple phone and tablet. And we have direct links to our podcast on Apple and Google Podcasts. Please participate by connecting to our social media, answering questions of the week, or submitting feedback directly from the site. Again, all of these are available at the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room website at RABR.KaileJohansson.us. And now, it's time to talk Star Wars. I am Kyle John Johansson, and this is Andrew Scott Sutton. Say hello.
And then we've got Rick here too. Got a full house today.
You need to build him into it, bro.
Yeah, that means I have to re-record. Oh my god, it's so much work. Eventually I will.
Oh my god,
Rick hasn't decided
about time during the week.
Rick doesn't. Well, I don't. I got to work. Rick hasn't decided if he likes us enough yet. So.
Yeah, this is just a trial.
You don't like us?
You guys haven't paid for the real thing. I'm just on a trial.
Temporary basis.
Yeah. Okay.
So I was just going to point out that it's funny that Scott's got a hoodie on and overalls.
It was cold this morning.
He's got two stereotypes going there.
Hard wind over here.
Oh, they got wind. Okay.
I didn't want to bring it up. Farmer Scott. Did you get the cows fed today?
Sure did. I have a 1.5-year-old red tick coonhound boxer that she don't run for an hour and a half or more a week. It's chaos.
I bet. Red tick.
Yeah.
So Joan's Park, and she in her both ends. Zoe got in the pond today, and I'm not too happy about that. But,
Well, as you can see, it's a beautiful 65 and sunny at the Northwest Ontario Lodge.
I'm glad you could use. I'm glad you could borrow our jet today.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. All right. So moving on. Today we're talking about The Bad Batch, Season 2, Episode 14, right?
Yeah. Well,
I didn't update something. It's we always do Bad Batch, and Tipping Point's the name of the episode. That's right. So.
I forgot. You are your mother's son, and I don't
know
how to alphabetize.
What does it have to do with alphabetical? Bad Batch is first. B for Bad Batch.
No.
Anyway, this is a stupid argument, so we're going to do the news.
It's time for the news.
And the news is nothing exciting. We don't have any exciting news, but we've been talking about these different types of vehicles and stuff, I guess we could call them. Let me get my screen shared. Make sure I got some sound going. Oh, Rick fell down. Rick fell over.
Whoa.
Rick fell over. All right, so this vehicle is called the All-Terrain Reconnaissance Transport. This is like the standard-looking one. We've seen some of them that are a little different than this one. This is the standard 2-footer. We saw one last week that had like a claw for a third foot to balance or or pickup
Is that
stuff.
is that the Chewy mobile?
I think this one's a little different. So this is an example, but there's different, let's say, models. So,
Okay.
but this is like I said, it's a scout transport kind of a vehicle. So they're scouting or they're, reconnaissance type of stuff. They're not. It's got some pretty good cannons on it, but it's not made to be in a battle.
Pew pew pew.
It has a flamethrower, it looks like, and a 38 laser cannon. Mortar launchers. There's no room for passengers, but there's only room for one pilot. Police support, civil defense, post-battle cleanup. That's what it was used for. And as you can see here, it was used by pretty much everybody. Galactic Republic before the Empire, and then the Empire, Imperial Army, Alliance used it. First Order used it, and some security company that was probably related to something else. See, this is what it looks like with a person in it. Closed in, see?
Mm-hmm.
It's just a walker where you're open out in the open. That's interesting, isn't it? I don't know if we've ever seen one of those in a show yet. Let's see. It'll tell us here. It says it was used during the Battle of Ryloth. Nothing. These might have been seen maybe in some video games or something. That could be where it probably was. Scout troopers. Yep, it's not necessarily in any movies. The First Order used the walker. Yeah, I don't remember where that came from. It's probably a game too. Stupid pop-up. And let's see. Yeah, police support, backup support, scouting. It wasn't really made. Now you can see here the handlebars and stuff on the seat now. Now that I saw the person on it, I can see the seat. There's a saddlebag on the back there. It's not interesting. So it's almost like a speeder, but it's got legs instead. It's pretty much what that is. Then we got a second one here we're going to talk about, and it's called the self-propelled heavy artillery. I can't talk. Heavy artillery turbo laser. You can see the picture here. See if I can make it any bigger. That's a little bit bigger. This one here in the middle is one that's not being fired, and these other two on the sides are the same thing. They're being fired. It's like a tank. It's got legs. You can see here barely on here that it's got 5, 6,
tracks.
8 legs. No, those are legs. Let me get in closer. Can't really tell, but see, there's legs there. There's no tracks. There's people in front.
Oh.
Those are definitely legs, but they're huge legs. Look at, the feet go way out there for stability, I'm sure. But this is mostly just a cannon type of vehicle. It's got this big, huge turbo laser on it. Right? So it's 140 meters long, 35 miles an hour, a crew of 30. So 30 people can fit in that.
Crew of 30.
Yeah.
What are they doing? Pedaling?
Twiddling their thumbs. I don't know.
They're pedaling.
Takes a lot of people to charge up the laser. I don't know. Could be carrying people too. It just doesn't.
Well, they have the Planet Star, Death Star thing, and they use it in the sun, and they go boo.
Okay. That makes sense. Yep. Stupid pop up again.
This is
And they were used in defense against ships that were landing. I can't say that word today. Artillery walker were generally deployed in squadrons of 4 and were usually placed behind advanced walkers.
Mhm.
So they were the heavy long range cannons that might police the sky a little bit. And I wanted to see the history here, so if we've seen it. And I think we've seen these in the Attack of the Clones. Probably when they were fighting the Gungans and whatever, when they had that weird shield thing or whatever. We probably saw some during that time. And the first appearance of the Zillo Beast which was in Clone Wars, the animated show.
Mhm.
We saw one then, it says. Let's see. The cannon was about 60 meters long, it says. Pretty long cannon. That's pretty much it there. It's not a lot about that. So that kind of actually closes out all of the walker type of weapons.
Hey, Rick,
we
you catch a fish there?
Yeah, he's sleeping. But we can pursue other types of weapons too if you want to keep going on. Not today, but later next week, whatever. I have something different for news for the Mandalorian today.
In the news.
So that's the end of the news, and we want to tell people not to go any further if they haven't watched the episode. We don't want them blaming us for being spoiled, but we're gonna spoil them from going forward. So, we had Saul Ruiz was the director of our show today. The writer was Jennifer Corbett and Matt Michnovetz. Story editor was Matt again, and I added this time the musical score was done by Kevin Kiner. He's been doing all of the music for The Bad Batch. Every episode he's done the score for. And then our cast today, we had Captain Pearce, and then one of the Imperial techs and a Stormtrooper number 4 was done by Ben Diskin. Many of the clone troopers, Fireball, Gregor, Howser, Nemec, all done by D. Bradley Baker. Fireball, and Howser's pretty cool too. I like Howser. Dr. Royce Hemlock was on our episode again, played by Jimmi Simpson. Dr. Scalder was played by Helen Sadler. And then Emerie Karr was played by Kiesha Castle-Hughes. We also saw Governor Tarkin in a video call. He was using Zoom again. One of the Imperial pilots, Stormtrooper number 5, all done by Stephen Stanton. Again, we saw the people at Pabu this week. We saw Lyana Hazard, played by Andy Allo. We also saw Shep Hazard, who also, same guy, voiced Stormtrooper number 4, Emerie Williams. And then, surprisingly, we saw Senator Chuchi this time too. Her skin is blue, but she's got pink hair or something weird. Jennifer Hale.
Mhm.
And then we had one person play Stormtrooper number 1, Stormtrooper number 2, which is Norrish Dolly, which is the same guy that played, our favorite bad guy that is always threatening the Bad Batch. It's not a doctor. So that means we get to play a commercial.
And now, a word from our sponsors. Does your bald head take a beating from shaving, the sun, and all of the things Mother Nature throws your way? Do ladies look at your dry, sunburnt head and cringe? Well, guys, there's a new product out there in the head care market that promises to rock your head. I mean dome. Looks soft, clean, and touchable, and it's trending number 1 through social media and on YouTube. Introducing Dome Armor. It conditions with moisturizers like coconut oil and shea butter, protects with sunscreen up to SPF 45, and enhances your already sexy dome into an irresistible hands-on experience. Keep your dome safe and protected. Get Dome Armor, now available in fresh bacon scent. Sure to get the ladies to come running in fine stores like Walmart and Lowe's. Oh, and for those still struggling with minor hair loss, try Growgain. This product will refresh, revitalize, and regrow hair on your dome.
Just like Rick. Look at it. It's all fluffy. All right. I got to change this because I'm sharing my screen stuff that I don't want to share. It's okay to share it, but I just don't want to share it anymore. I didn't want to miss the audio, so when I switch it, I have to change it so the audio comes back, and I have to. Anyway, so that means we're going to watch we're going to talk about the Bad Batch Season 2, Episode 14, Tipping Point, which aired on March 22nd. Was only 30 minutes long this time, and we're still in the 18 before Battle Yavin timeline. So that means it's time for you to pull up a chair, grab your favorite beverage, and join us in the Rebel Alliance briefing room. There, that's good. All right, so today the episode opens with the 3 descendant former clone troopers, including Howser, being escorted aboard a Ganzenti-class cruiser. Stormtroopers under the command of Captain Pearce, which is the guy that got on the elevator right there at the beginning. He had the weird-looking hair. Captain Pearce. The cruiser reaches the space above the planet of Balamora, but is attacked immediately by another starship before it can jump into hyperspace. So somebody knew they were coming, and somebody jumped in right there before they jumped out, and they immediately disabled their hyperdrive engines, didn't they?
Yep.
It's the attacking starship, led by clone veterans Gregor and Echo, disable the hyperdrive and their defenses, so they can't track them enough to fire weapons accurately. Let's just say. Gregor and Echo command several other clone troopers that are helping them out and preparing stuff. After disabling the cruiser's weapon system, Echo and Nemec lead a boarding party aboard a smaller leech ship that drills through the upper of the hull of the cruiser, which I don't know if you guys noticed that. So they attached at the bottom because that's what the Empire was expecting, but they put their other ship on top and actually drilled a hole in to sneak in.
That little pod thing came off too, though.
Yeah, it was kind of cool.
Jettisoned off and then kind of flew over.
Exactly. It was a weird little ship. That drills to the upper of the hull. Gregor attaches the starship to the forward docking port. Captain Pearce warns the troopers to prepare to be boarded. Big announcement across the whole ship, it sounds like. Descending from the leech ship, Echo and 2 clone troopers shoot the stormtroopers defending who enter the vessel. At the forward dock, Gregor throws a grenade that electrocutes the first group of stormtroopers. He just opens it up real quick, closes it up. And it's funny, they look back down the rest of the troopers and like, why did they close it? Why aren't they coming? They're like, I don't understand. And then he jumps out and takes several with his blaster. Under attack on 2 fronts, Pearce issues orders to initiate the protocols and erase the databanks. Echo and Nemec and their team secure the engine room after taking out several stormtroopers and sentries. While the clone trooper named Fireball frees Howser and his comrades, Echo and Nemec lead the attack on the bridge. They eliminate the sentries and take out Pearce's stormtroopers. While Echo attends to retrieving the data from the databank, Nemec interrogates Pearce at gunpoint. However, Pearce commits suicide by hitting a suicide shocker. That's what they call it now. The same thing that one, sniper clone used. It was a suicide shocker, and
It's a
they now, yeah, they now have an article about what that is. It's a suicide assisting weapon that can be implanted inside an individual's mouth. It was activated by biting down, which results in an electric shock that kills the user.
So I was right. It was a shocker.
Shocker. And it does mention here that the clone trooper sniper used the same thing, and Captain Pearce, as far as we know, are the only ones that have used it. Wait, it says here that someone else used it later on in the future. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Where were we? Shocker inside the mouth. Gregor informs Echo and Nemec that they have liberated the prisoners and fall back. Echo wants to retrieve what's left of their files shortly. The Imperial enforcements arrive in a form of an Imperial light cruiser and several V-wing starfighters. Echo tells his comrades to buy more time, but Nemec disagrees and pulls out the data rod.
Pulls out.
While Gregor detaches the ship, Echo and Nemec escape in the leech ship. Following in a dogfight, they dock with Gregor's ship and flee into hyperspace. It looked like there was a couple TIE fighters that were attacking them too, didn't it?
Yeah, they were getting attacked, and then all of a sudden,
the big ship came. Yeah, TIE fighters, like 6 of them.
Yeah. So elsewhere on Mount Tanasis in Wayland, 2 stormtroopers frog march Crosshair out of his cell. Frog march. I guess that's because he's got cuffs on his legs. While walking through the cell block, he notices several clone troopers inside cells. Crosshair is ushered into an operating theater where Emerie Karr warns him to cooperate with Dr. Royce Hemlock. Hemlock arrives with a clone commando and remarks that Crosshair has recovered remarkably fast. When Crosshair asks why he's here, Hemlock assures him that he's not punishing for shooting his commanding officer, which he opinions shows Crosshair has initiative. Hemlock offers to give Crosshair a clean slate in return for revealing the location of Clone Force 99, adding that they have something that belongs to him. Anybody actually believe him saying he's going to give him a clean slate?
No.
Yeah, sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's going to use the what was that thing called in Mando, the mind thing. What was that called? Mind Slayer. Mind Flayer.
There you go.
Yeah,
he's going to give him just a pleasant feeling.
Yeah, it'll be just a tingle.
Exactly.
That'll be
clean slate, exactly. Crosshair says that the Bad Batch won't give up Omega that easily. And Hemlock disagrees, saying that Omega is Imperial property. They have to give him up. We own her. What the hell?
It's the rules.
Like, why wouldn't they follow the rules? I don't get it.
Everybody.
Hemlock reiterates his offer of helping the Empire relocate his former squad in return for his freedom. When Crosshair responds that he doesn't know where the Bad Batch are, the stormtroopers force him onto an operating bed. As they restrain him, Hemlock asks if Crosshair knows about how they think, operate, and who their contacts are. Crosshair is very uncooperative, prompting Hemlock to bring in the ITO interrogation unit, which is a weird droid that, I don't know, it has a needle on it. I don't understand what this thing does, because he starts shaking once the thing puts the needle in there, and it stays in there. I don't get it. Is it shocking him at the same time?
I don't know.
It says here the ITO was developed in secret by the Imperial Department of Military Research, which is Hemlock's department. It was used to extract information from prisoners through use of mind probes. So what, are they sticking his head? I don't know. Jedi, however, were known to have been trained to resist a mind probe. And so on and so on. What's a mind probe? It's a version of the Mind Slayer. So that's what
Resistance is futile.
Yeah. All right, so
I don't like that needle.
Yeah. You don't like needles.
I don't mind needles. I just don't like needles getting close to my eyes.
Yeah. All right. So he said, however, they are interrupted by Dr. Scalder, who informs Hemlock and Karr that one of their transport ships was attacked while departing Balormora. While the interrogation droid commences injecting Crosshair, Hemlock leaves Karr to supervise the interrogation. Meanwhile, on Coruscant, we're all over the place. This is our third place now. Echo and Gregor bring Howser and his men to Trace Martise's repair shop, where they rendezvous with Senator Chuchi, who offers refuge to the rescued clones. Howser tells her that 3 out of the 8 men survived in the prison population. When Chuchi asks why Howser and her other clone troopers were being imprisoned, Echo explains that they were being imprisoned for questioning Imperial orders.
She identifies as a cat.
Something. He and Gregor intercepted them while they were being shuttled off-world. Howser does not know where they were being sent, recalls that several clone troopers were transferred off-world a few rotations ago, adding they never came back. Chuchi the cat says they must find out where the ship was headed. Meow. Echo replies that they recovered heavily encrypted information, which he plans to bring to someone who can crack it.
No.
Chuchi says that she will take care of things on Coruscant and to see what they can find out, and tells Echo to be careful. Kissy kissy. Don't go far, Echo. I like you. All right. Back on Mount Tantus, Karr suspends the interrogation when a stormtrooper protests, saying, "Hey, we were told not to stop until he talks." She responds that the prisoner cannot talk if he's dead. Come on now.
And tell him you don't put your gun down.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen here in a second. But I think we're seeing that Karr kind of likes Crosshair and is probably going to help in his escape attempt if he escapes later on. I don't know. She seems to sympathize with him a little bit. So while Karr consults a computer, the guards try to secure his restraints under her orders. However, Crosshair grabs a blaster pistol. Pew pew! Pew pew! And he shoots the troopers and the interrogation droid. Karr attempts to reason with Crosshair, but he forces her to free him at gunpoint. He says, I need your keycard pass. Gimme. She tries to convince him that he can't escape, but he stuns her with her blaster. Crosshair makes his way through the corridor and shoots 2 stormtrooper sentries. He's kind of staggering and groggy, it seems like, too. He unlocks a blast door only to encounter 4 armed stormtroopers. Crosshair takes shelter behind a panel and shoots an overhead pipe, which releases gas that disorientates the stormtroopers. He then takes advantage of their confusion and shoots them down. And I want to point out here, when he's shooting at these guys, if you guys notice, he misses a couple times. Normally he doesn't miss at all, but he misses at least twice that I saw, maybe 3 times.
He's got a big needle in his head. Come on, give the guy a break.
Yeah, needle in his head. God, come
I know.
on,
I'm just saying he missed. He missed. He doesn't miss. That's all I'm saying. Crosshair then enters Terminal 3 and uses Karr's access card to send a transmission through a satellite while saying Plan 88. Stormtroopers detect the unauthorized transmission and steal the room. Crosshair issues a warning to the Bad Batch before being incapacitated by a green toxin. Kind of looked yellow to me, but green, whatever. Hemlock enters.
It's green on my television.
Okay. Enters Terminal 3 with the Stormtrooper and tells Crosshair that he has developed a toxin which he has an immunity for, but not Crosshair. Crosshair closes his eyes.
But there was a Stormtrooper in there too that it wasn't affected by.
Well, they're supposed to filter. They have filters on those.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. But I understand what you're saying. I saw that too, and I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah. Did he give the immunities to the Stormtroopers as well?
I don't know, but we know from future movies, Finn, he tells us that there's a breather filter in the mask.
True.
Oh, future movie.
It's a
all right.
Pictures. That's a spoiler of a spoiler of a spoiler.
Exactly. Elsewhere on Pabu Island, life has returned to normal on the lower levels since the recent tsunami. While unloading goods at the dock, Shep Hazard asks Hunter about a visiting clone friend. Hunter reassures Hazard that he is not with the Empire, which pleases Hazard. Wrecker tells them they finished helping rebuild the fishing dock and displays a large purple fish he caught for dinner. Big fish. 3 local girls, including Lyana Hazard, recruit Wrecker to help them fortify the seawalls. Hazard tells the Bad Batch they have become an integral part of the island community and asks if they consider settling down and staying. Hunter responds that soldiers find settling down as an occupational hazard. And Hazard asks if it's just because they're soldiers. Why can't they not be soldiers? I don't know. Meanwhile, Tech gives Omega flying lessons.
It was a touch of
Omega giving Tech a heart attack.
Yeah. It was funny stuff. He's like, ah! She's like,
well, Kyle, you don't have an offspring, or never taught anybody to drive.
yeah, but I remember what it was like when I first learned how to drive.
It'll put years on the person that's riding with you.
Yeah,
yeah, and you tried to kill me. Yeah, that's right.
Under Tech's guidance, she takes the ship down and up repeatedly. Tech remarks that the alarms have been short-circuited, but commends her improvement due to his teaching skills. She short-circuited all the alarms last time they flew. Gonki watches the flying lesson in the cockpit. Tech asks Omega about executing a sharp swing back to port with zero thruster pull, which Omega calls the Tech turn. She circles the island citadel rapidly. Following the circle, they receive a transmission from Echo.
Did she get permission for a flyby?
Yep, she did. Omega is delighted that Echo is coming to visit them. After exchanging pleasantries, Echo challenges Omega for a race to the landing zone. Soon, which I thought was funny that he actually got there before her, because he was farther out to start with. I don't know.
Did you see the people scatter though when she was landing?
Yeah, they're like, "Whoa!"
Whoa! Yes.
They weren't expecting it, I guess.
She didn't ever back up. That must have blown the breaker too.
Yeah, no backup lights. Beep, beep, beep.
I'd
Echo
like to
lands
know-
on a large freighter at the landing zone and shakes hands with Hunter. Omega and Hunter shortly later land the Marauder. Omega and Tech. Echo is surprised that they are not back with Sidron Saddleback on Ord Mantle.
Oh shit!
Hunter replies that they are reevaluating those things. Omega is delighted to see Echo again and reveals that she has come to seek Tech's help in decrypting data from a file aboard the Imperial ship carrying these clone prisoners they just rescued. Echo wants to know where the ship was transporting the prisoners and why. He thinks it's in the data. Data.
Did you see Tech? Did you see Tech at the top of the ramp? He had to hold his balance on the side of the door and was holding his head.
He's still a little dizzy from that fast.
Too many barrel rolls.
Yeah.
Or University U's.
Yeah, that's what I did with Scott. Scott knows what that is.
Door flew right open
No,
on
what?
his dad's truck. Yes, it did.
It came open a little bit. You exaggerate.
I did not. Maybe I was drunk.
A little bit. So you know that Best Western out there in on the main strip, Rick?
Yeah.
Best Western's all the way out there.
Yeah.
So I did this. The drive there. It's got like a island in the middle
Yeah.
when you first pull in. So I did a U-turn basically right there, and I hit the gas while I was going around. So the back of the truck kind of went around instead of and Scott's door wasn't closed all the way.
You were able to execute that quickly.
It was all right. I had to grab him.
Fun time.
Broken.
Scott peed his pants.
Bleeding.
Well, you see, the worst part about that was, Rick, is I was up at the college at the time, right? And my parents lived 2 blocks away from the campus.
He stole the truck.
So I broke into my house and got the keys and stole the truck. We went for a joyride, and that's when I did this University UE thing. We were just doing a joyride, having fun, and we were probably maybe a little bit drunk. I don't remember.
I would not have appreciated that.
We had a party at that house one time too. It wasn't a very big party. It was like 4 or 5 of us. I think that was about it. We sat there and watched MTV all night or something. Yeah, Headbangers Ball all night. Anyway, fun times, right?
Mhm.
So back on Wayland, Dr. Hemlock tries to reassure Governor Williff Tarkin that the loss of the ship will not compromise the Wayland facility. Tarkin disagrees, but Hemlock vouches for their security protocols. Hemlock is concerned about how the ship was targeted, and Tarkin speculates that the leak was the work of rogue clone elements within the Imperial hierarchy. He is concerned that their growing number of clones are questioning Imperial orders. Hemlock warns that eliminating dissident clones will not root out the problem, but says he can find other ways of dealing with them. Tarkin reminds Hemlock to give a full briefing of his plan at the upcoming summit. On Pabu, Echo and Hunter ask Hunter if he and the other clones plan to stay at the peaceful island indefinitely. Wrecker plays with Omega and Lyana. Hunter opinions that they've considered settling, and it might be a good idea. Echo explains that Rex has built a small network of clones, some of whom are hiding underground or act as contacts within the Empire. Hunter warns Echo that the Empire is powerful and they cannot be defeated, but Echo reminds him of their brothers. He's doing it for his brothers. Hunter asks Echo to reconsider his war against the Empire.
So what we learned from that is there's a much larger network in play than what we're aware of.
Least of clone troopers, yeah.
Yeah.
Which
So,
kind of liken it to the the underground for the slaves here in the United
exactly.
States in a way.
Yeah.
A big network of that kind of stuff.
Or the French resistance in World War II.
Yep. For
So,
the Jews and stuff.
so we're gonna find out who was part of that network in the episodes upcoming.
Yep. I mean, we know some of the big players already. Rex, of course, was mentioned in Echo.
Yeah.
If Scott remembers, Rex and Echo played a big part in the Rebels for a while too. And I think it's funny that they're using this Trace Martinez's repair shop as a like a landing place where they're offloading all these troopers. Because if I remember everything we've learned from Trace Martinez, she was always suspicious of everybody. So I just find it hard that she's actually letting him use it. Anyway, Tech summons the rest of the batch back to the ship via comlink because he has decrypted the data. He explains that the Imperial transport Echo hijacked was assigned to the Advanced Science Division. Hunter is unaware of that unit. Tech explains that it is a clandestine operation without records in its location or purpose. Dun dun dun. He discovers that the Advanced Science Division is headed by Dr. Royce Hemlock, who was expelled from the Republic Science Corps for unauthorized or unorthodox experiments. So, he's a mad scientist, basically, right?
He's the doctor, whatever, like of the Holocaust. The gosh dang, what's that guy's name? He was kicked out because he was doing some whatever.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I can't remember the name either.
I think what his name is now. Dang it.
Vorkian? No, that was the doctor that was killing suicide.
Yeah, I was gonna say Himmler was not the doctor. He was the one that was at Auschwitz. Man,
Himmler was a general.
Yeah. Doctor.
Yeah, over the science when Himmler the scientist.
No, Himmler was like the guy that wore the glasses, and he was like Hitler's right hand kind of man. I don't know, it's irrelevant, but that's what this guy kind of reminds me of. Like he's, he wants to do all these experiments on the clones to,
Yeah. Well, because they're indispensable, right?
Yeah, they're expendable.
There you go. Expendable. That's what I meant to say. All right. So Omega asks why they were transferring clone prisoners to him, and Tech says that he does not know, but previous records mention that other clones transferred to the science division, including Crosshair. Uh-oh. Everybody starts crying. Uh-oh. Wrecker was surprised that Crosshair turned against the Empire. Hunter asks how sure Tech is, and Tech replies that he found Crosshair's clone number on the transfer register, and he also checked all comm channels and found a recent distress signal from Crosshair with an old code on a message saying Plan 88, the Seeker. Tech thinks that Crosshair is warning them but Hunter believes it's a trap. It's a trap. Wrecker asks how they will find out whether it's a trap or not. On Wayland, Crosshair is fastened to the operating table. Hemlock and Karr enter the operating theater in presence of stormtroopers. Hemlock warns Crosshair that he will only leave the facility if he is allowed to. He extends his offer to Crosshair a second time, saying, I'll let you go. Crosshair is defiant and silent. Hemlock offers freedom again in return for helping secure Omega. When Crosshair gives a defiant stare, he orders Karr and the interrogation droid to increase the drug level. As Crosshair squirms in agony, Hemlock smiles as Karr watches. Then we see credits. Dun, dun, dun.
There passes out.
So, what'd you guys think of that episode?
Episode. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad, was it?
Uh-uh.
It definitely had some back and forth action, that's for sure.
They were kind of all over the place.
I don't see why you're saying Crosshair defied the Empire, or
well, that's why they think he's got captured.
Just getting rid of him. He didn't defy anybody.
Well, they don't know that. The Bad Batch doesn't really know that.
Yeah, they don't know that he shot his commanding officer and whatnot.
Yeah, so that's defying the Empire by shooting his commanding officer. I don't know. What do you guys think of a question of the week? I came up with something, but I'm not sure I like it. I came up with Will Crosshair give up Clone Force 99's location? Will he live? That's what we asked last week.
Yeah.
Well, get to him on time.
You do focus on Crosshair, but do the Bad Batch get Crosshair free, or does he get help from a sympathetic? What's her name?
That's about his Karr.
Yeah, Emerie Karr. Yeah.
Is she sympathetic to the clones, or does she, follow orders?
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see, but she seems sympathetic, doesn't she?
If Karr helps him, does he take Karr with her? With him?
Good. I don't know.
And she becomes
I would say she probably gets shot.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think Crosshair is thinking, romantically or anything about her. So.
And do we see tears from Crosshair? No.
Nah. But we do understand that he still is sympathetic to the rest of the clones, or else he would not have issued the Plan 88.
Yeah.
So his loyalty, to them is still there.
Yeah, especially after what he knows now, right?
Yeah.
He knows that stuff's going on, and he saw all the troopers too. In the being
in the hallways.
Being tied up and stuff. Yeah, so I think it's like we all know that next week is the final 2 episodes, same week, same bat channel, same bat time. So we're gonna get a huge ending, I would assume. Season finale and so on. So there's a lot that we can expect happening, right? We hope that includes getting Crosshair out, right?
Yeah.
But we also know that this cloning facility that Crosshair is at exists in the future too. So they could damage it, I guess, and rebuild some of it. But we know this cloning facility exists in the future too. So, they don't do a Death Star and blow the whole planet up or whatever it is.
So, they could just be stealthy about it.
Yeah. Yeah, and they've been there before too. If you remember in previous episodes, they've been to this planet before. Because they rescued the guy on the top of the mountain. I think it was Gregor, actually. They rescued him from this actual planet. It was the one where they had to climb the mountains and stuff, and whatever to get away. Not the one where they were doing the cargo thing, but it was It was a rescue mission. Because they got a distress signal. Remember that? It's
Yeah.
distress signal kind of thing. And that was a clone. That was Gregor that's helping out Echo on this episode.
Okay.
So anyway, let's see here. I was going to mention that we're getting lots of eyeball traffic, but not necessarily people listening to things and commenting on things. Spotify's doing good. We haven't really gotten any comments there. As you guys know, I've turned all of these bad batches into videos on Spotify, and the Mandalorians for this season are videos. Be neat if Amazon did that too, but they don't. We have had minimal traffic on Amazon, probably just Rick. Same two people are slowly watching one-off videos that we've done, nothing that's recent, of course. And I was gonna say, we mentioned at the top there that we have we hit a new milestone record. So the YouTube let me know that we've had over 500 people viewing our channel, and that's over the lifetime of the channel, not within the last week or something. It's over the lifetime, which is not bad.
How much
I think there's a milestone of like 3,000 people view. That if we hit that, we can actually start monetizing on advertisements that show up on our videos. YouTube will put advertisements to the front and end, and it's nothing, right? It's like fractions of a penny per advertisement or something like that. But if we get popular, have millions of people, then we can make $20-$30 or something weird like that, maybe. But that's way in the future. We gotta go viral first, right?
Need to show my ass.
We have 4 subscribers on our YouTube channel now. And as you show your ass, I'll turn off your video. I can do that over here,
The Death Star blew that moon up.
Yeah.
The planet formerly known as Uranus.
Uranus, yeah.
Exactly. Let's talk about the feedback.
Feedback at KyleJohansson.us. That's feedback.
KOHANSEN.us.
I know.
Black hole. I don't want to see that black hole.
He's no.
No, we got to get done so we can go to the next one.
Let's go. Let's go.
That's what I'm doing. So we were talking about feedback. So we've got email address feedback at KyleJohansson.us. You can send us videos there if you'd like. You can send audio if you want. That'll all work there. If you go to our website and look on the left-hand side over there, I think on the left-hand side we have links to feedback, questions of the week, in our social media, and you can also find where we are on YouTube there. So the feedback link will bring up a form. You fill it out, send it to us, and we'll read it on the show. The questions of the week, you can answer those and then put comments at the end of why you answered what you wanted, or you can put pretty much anything in there. We don't really care. Twitter, we're on @super_duper_pod. And of course, the YouTube channel has comments that you can make on every episode if you'd like. So that was our feedback, right, guys? What do we want to know if you want to see Scott's black hole? Wake up, Scott.
What?
All right. What? Nothing.
What?
Anything else you guys can think of that you want to discuss about this episode?
Can't wait for the next ones.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
next couple are going to be pretty exciting. It's going to
I'll have to drink.
obviously we know.
I'll have to drink a Jolt Cola when I get home from work.
Yeah, so you can stay up for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Get
you can
some
just
juice.
do it. You can just watch them on your phone while you're at work.
Nope. I like my big screen with my stereo sound.
Okay then.
He just wants
You don't work. You don't work.
ass.
Who works? We all work. You weirdo.
Let's go.
Does this TV make my
Thank
butt
you
look
for listening to the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room podcast. Please visit our website where you can play current and past episodes. That's https://RABR KyleJohansson.us. That's
No metaphors.
RABR dot KyleJohansson.us. On the left-hand side is a navigation menu. You can use this to learn how to load the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room podcast on your Android or Apple phone and tablet. And we have direct links to our podcast on Apple and Google Podcasts. Please participate by connecting to our social media, answering questions of the week, or submitting feedback directly from the site. Again, all of these are available at the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room website at RABR.KyleJohansson.US. This podcast in no way is approved, sponsored, or owned by Lucasfilms Ltd., Disney, Disney Plus, or any of its subsidiaries.
No way.
All opinions are solely owned by Kyle and or Scott, and in no way express the views or opinions
Definitely
of
not
past
Rick.
or present employers. Views and opinions are not supported or restricted by Lucasfilms Ltd., Disney, Disney Plus, or any of its subsidiaries. Any rebroadcast, reproduction, or any or other use of this podcast and its affiliate sites without consent of Super Duper Podcast Network and its host is prohibited. I am Kyle Johansson, and this is Andrew Scott Sutton. Say goodbye now.
Bye now.
Bye now. We got Rick too with his fancy ring there. He's got his wedding ring. Yeah. All right. So that's the end of the episode. We'll wait a few seconds. And then